The kingdom of heaven will be beautiful. It's going to be marvelous. And in the kingdom, there's going to be a lot of perks. A lot of different things will come to pass. We're going to have everything. We're going to inherit the earth and the universe as a whole. We're going to have new technology that the earth has never seen before. We're going to travel to different planets. We're going to experience fresh air, chemtrail free, fresh water, all of that, you know? Can you imagine drinking water with the minerals in it? Can you imagine eating food that's real food, that's not GMO, that's not genetically modified? You don't have to have a care in the world. You're gonna be worry free. Right? No complaining about anything. Everything's gonna be taken care of. All right? The kingdom of heaven is gonna be glorious, and we haste for the kingdom of heaven to come. All right? We highly anticipate it.
But rather, seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that ye have, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. But where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
The Lord is going to give us our heart's desires. We're going to inherit all things. He's going to give us our heart's desires. So whatever we want, whatever we desire, that's why we're doing this work. So we can inherit the earth and inherit everything, inherit the blessings of YAHAWASHI, having total access to the blessings of YAHAWASHI, because our lives right now are hidden. Our lives are on reserve. It's like a reservation. Okay? That's why our conversation is in heaven, because our lives are with YAHAWASHI. So our lives are hidden right now. That's why we're not living on this side. Right now we're dead, but very soon we're going to be living. All right? We're going to be living.
And the kingdom and dominion, and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of TMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations. Hopefully, they got there pushing this word and the truth and this sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopefully the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai. And what I want to get into today, is dealing with the fall and the rise. All right, dealing with, the story, all right, of us, all right, and how it deals with, all right, Adam, and Yahawashi, all right, understanding that, Yahawashi, all right, was Adam, all right, in the reincarnation, Adam, came back as Yahawashi, as himself, going into Adam, the first son of God, all right, the first one to receive that breath, and his fall, all right, it links to our story, going into how the fall of Adam, the fall of King Solomon, okay, but the perfection of Yahawashi, all right, what Yahawashi did, I pretty much set everything right, because the Bible is based, on the rise and fall of the sons of God. As we understand who we are as Israelites, you have a lot of our people, walking around, with fringes on everything. Okay. They understand, they have an awareness that they're Israelites, but they don't understand, the narrative, dealing with the sons of God, the rise All right. I mean, the fall, okay, that we had, and right now we're in the state that we're being risen. Okay, so it's important to understand, the concept dealing with the sons of God, which Elder Yahawashai goes into it often. It's his lesson pretty much inspired me to go into it. All right, but we're just gonna link everything together, man. It's gonna be quite a bit of reading, so we're gonna tap in, and just go and get the understanding. So we have to go back to the beginning, dealing with Adam. Okay, um, let's go here. So let's go back to Genesis. Okay, dealing with Adam, you know, and there's a major misconception. When you go into the book of Genesis, you know, they Christianity has pretty much made it a fairy tale, as if it's a book about all right, one man and one woman in the earth, a serpent, with legs, okay, an actual apple, that was bitten, okay, and these things were nah, man, okay, it was a society, okay. This story is based, all right, in a society, functioning society of people, all right, and in this society, all right, there was a man, all right, Adam, whom was chosen, okay, to have their breath, okay. Adam was the first one chosen. He's the first chosen in the earth, okay, and he received that breath, all right, that Rakakodash, that Holy Spirit, which you're going to get into these things. This is Genesis 2:7. It says, "And the Lord, YAHAWASHI, formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life and made man a living soul." Now there was men already in the earth, okay, but this man received what? The breath. What made him different is he received the breath, okay. He was already living, but he received that spirit, okay, the breath of life, which is the Rakakodash, the Holy Spirit, okay. And we're gonna, matter of fact, let's get there now. All right. So you get wisdom of Solomon. All right. And it's a spirit, King Solomon, being Adam. You just have to, hey, for those that have, ears to hear. All right. You know, like I say, this understanding isn't for the masses. A lot of times, a lot of times we've been going back to the basics. But sometimes, you got to deal with the meat of these things, man. Now, when you go to the Wisdom of Solomon, all right, chapter 7, just to explain that breath, okay? Like when say Christianity, when they go into the breath of life, they just think of, all right, is it the Most High gave Adam, all right, CPR? Okay, nah, man, he received the spirit of understanding, all right? Now, this is the book of, Wisdom of Solomon 7:17 said, "For ye have given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely to know how the world was made and the operation of the elements, the beginning, the ending, the midst of times, the alterations of the turning of the sun, and the change of season." And seeing this Holy Spirit is given for the purpose of rulership. Adam had a broad understanding. And that's why it makes sense when he came back as King Solomon, he got that understanding back. Okay. But the Holy Spirit, that Adam received, it was a broad understanding of everything, man. Okay, of existence, man. It says the circuit of years and the position of stars, the nations of living creatures and the furies of wild beasts, the violence of the winds and the reasonings of men, the diversity of plants and the virtues of roots, the herbs. Okay, you understood animals, what we call wildlife. Okay, what they would say was zoology today. Okay, biology. He understood all these things, man. The reasonings of men, psychology. Okay, and this is all included in the Rakakodash, and we received it in this time to where we're coming on the level and on all these things now. We're going to be opened up, okay, because this is for rulership. We have the portion of understanding the things of what we need. Different brothers got their different gifts, okay, but we have to understand who will have the biggest portion, okay, of the spirit, other than the firstborn, YAHAWASHI. He had a big portion is Adam. He had a big portion is King Solomon. Okay, and as YAHAWASHI, he had a great portion. That's why even YAHAWASHI said one greater than Solomon is here. Okay, so it says, and all such things as are either secret or manifold, I know them. Okay, so this breath that Adam received was a breath of wisdom and understanding. Okay, being what the first, all right, the firstborn of the sons of God. Okay, now let's jump down to 15. Like I said, I'm gonna jump around. I want to make it concise. It's gonna be lengthy, but I want to be concise. Because when you go into Genesis, man, there's so many rabbit holes you can go into of understanding. All right, but I just want to keep it on topic. All right, Genesis 2:15, it says, and the Lord power took the man and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. Okay, now let's go here. I want to get this word to keep it. All right, showing you that Adam was given, a responsibility in the garden, and that's what we fell away from. All right, that responsibility, man. Okay. One more word. All right, here we go. Yep. So you go here, this word keep it, which is in the Hebrew shamar. All right, it says to keep, to guard, to observe, to give heed. Okay, it says to guard, to keep watch, to protect, to save life. Okay, so Adam was given authority. Okay, to keep, to watch. All right, and this was a society. The garden. All right, it wasn't just people think of the garden, they just think of plants. Okay, nah, man, it was a functioning society. Okay, which Adam was given, okay, charge from the Most High to have a watch over, man. Okay, to protect life. One thing about is being a ruler, your decision making is supposed to protect life, man. Supposed to save righteousness, man. Okay, and that's what was given unto Adam. Okay, but then what happened? Let's go to verse 3. Chapter 3. Okay, so you go into chapter 3. This is when the BS came in the game. All right, and you see the title. All right, the fall of man. Okay, and who? Okay, spearheaded the fall, the serpent. All right, which we've been going into that. We went into this yesterday, but I want to pick up. All right, the serpent. All right, which the serpent representing the man. Okay, he just described, how he moved, very subtle, as if, how a serpent would move. Okay, very, very subtle, crafty, and also the word serpent. Okay, just to, go into it, you go into the root word for serpent in the Hebrew. It's kash. Okay, so let me get the root word. Yep, here we go. All right, kash. All right, which means to practice, to divine, to observe signs, to learn by experience. Okay, yep, to practice fortune telling, to take on an omen. Okay, so he was a diviner, witchcraft. Okay, and this is what was introduced. Okay, to the sons of God by the serpent through Eve. Okay, Eve. All right, and then Adam. Okay, so the serpent, brought this to Eve, And let's jump down to verse 6 and we'll read from there. Genesis 3 and 6, it says, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and this tree, all right, is speaking, okay, pretty much to put it in layman terms, when you go into a tree represents people, okay, and the fruit of the tree represents what? The doings of the people, and your doings come from what? A doctrine, okay? So Eve, she looked at the way, all right, of the other people of the earth, okay, that wasn't operating under their breath, okay, because Eve, as El Yashawama always goes to say, represents the church as well. You know how the church is supposed to be obedient to the husband, okay, but Eve went off. All right, she started operating outside of what? Their Rakakodash, their Holy Spirit, which was given to her husband. Okay, and she knew the right way. That's how she told the serpent, I'm not supposed to partake in this. Okay, but she was beguiled. All right, and she seen, that it was good for food in the flesh, and that was pleasant to the eyes, man. It was appeasing. And one thing we know about Esau Edom, he knows how to make sin appeasing. He knows how to make it a standard. Okay, he says, in the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband, all right, with her, and he did eat. Okay, so Adam, he began to transgress by this way. Okay, it says, and the eyes of them were both open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. Now, when you go into this, all right, them being naked, well, what is naked? Because they wasn't all right, didn't have any clothing. That's another thing Christianity is, if they were just around, moving around this garden, okay, as if it was a nude beach, nah, man. Okay, well, naked represents a what? A shame, being shamed. All right, when people do particular things, there's a shame that comes with it. You see, sin comes with shame. So they knew they were naked. They knew they was in sin. They was in shame. Okay, and what did they do? They started to mingle amongst, okay, these other nations. Okay, they started to mingle amongst these other peoples. Okay, to cover their shit. Because guess what? When you're doing wickedness, when you're doing wrong, what do? You try to go around other people that do wrong. Okay, because guess what? You both are justified. you know, it was scripture speak about how all things. Matter of fact, let's go here. Um, let's get this real quick, and we'll come back to it. You know, because when you're doing righteous, you stand out. You know, but when you, like in this society now, like doing righteousness, you stand out. What they call the women that are obedient to their husband, pick me's. Okay, men, that live by standard. They're boring. Okay, they have structure. They call them boring. All right, but when you with the madness, you blend in. Okay, so this is what Adam and Eve was on. Okay, so you go to I believe it's Sirach 3 and I think it's 13. So like 13 and 12. Yeah, so this is Sirach 13 and 15. It says, every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and men will cleave to his like. Okay, so this is Adam and Eve they begin to cleave to the ways of the other people, man. If they begin to operate outside of that Rakakwadash, the Holy Spirit that was given unto Adam. Okay? And the Lord's going to send, all right, the messenger to check them, man, their prophet to check Adam. He's going to send them to Adam. All right? So you go here, this is Genesis 3 and 8. And it says, and they heard the voice of the Lord walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And it was a prophet. And Adam, okay, because the scripture tell you that he spoke through the prophets from the beginning of the world. Okay, matter of fact, just prove it. Just prove all things. This is Luke 1 and 68. All right. He said, Luke 1:68, blessed be the Lord, power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. And we're going to touch back on this later on. And have raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. Okay? So it wasn't Heavenly Father himself, walking, all right, in the garden. It was a prophet. The office of the prophecies has been, the office of the prophets has been from the beginning. Okay? So reading on Genesis 3 and 8, it says, and they heard the voice of the Lord walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord power amongst the trees of the garden, like we just read, amongst the other people. They begin to blend in with the ways of the other people of the earth, man. Okay? And it says, and the Lord called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? Okay? So the Lord is stepping down on Adam, man. Okay? And it says, and he said, I heard thy voice and was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. All right? And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldn't eat? So the Lord's like, how do you, because he's ashamed. Now this generation, as wickedness has become so normal, shame is, disintegrating. Okay? But when people are ashamed, you can tell, like, if someone does something shameful, what they tend to do, they tend not to come around. Someone gets exposed, okay, for something shameful, they tend not to come around, like the way back in the day, you see, they had what coming out the closet, for their alphabet lifestyle. It wasn't, as flamboyant as we see today. They would be in the closet, and if sometimes they would come out the closet, and it'd be a shame that sometimes they get exposed, and it's a shame that came when they didn't want to be around. You can feel the shame on certain people, man. Okay, certain athletes, even on the lower level, like an athlete, like the way Errol Spence, the way he got beat, you can see the shame on his face. You haven't seen that guy around like that lately, man. Okay, so they had, it was a shame on Adam, man. Okay, and he only way to know shame is to know sin. So the Lord said, what you ashamed of? You only know righteousness. What you got to be ashamed of? Okay, because the scriptures say how what the righteous are bold as lion. When you're in righteousness, you have boldness, man. Okay, when you're in righteousness, man. All right. So the Heavenly Father, like, what you got to be ashamed about? You only know righteousness. What you and then he said, oh, you must have ate from the tree. You must have started partaking in that way. Okay, it says, and the man said, the woman. So now he gonna put it on Eve. With Eve played a major part in this. Okay, but the main three culprits is Adam. Okay, the son of God, Eve, the woman, the goddamn woman, and the serpent. All right. So these are the three culprits, man, and they're all going to be addressed. The Heavenly Father is going to address all of them, man. but we're gonna put emphasis on Adam, you know, because this the three that had a part in the fall. Okay, but you had one, YAHAWASHI. He came to clean up this whole mess, man. So there's a mess that has been made going back to the garden. All right, and you're gonna see how it has a ripple effect all the way into, you know, this spirit. There's an Adam, which is YAHAWASHI's return to clean these things up, man. Okay, and it says, and the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Lord said unto the woman, so now the prophet is addressing Eve, all right, for her participation. Okay, and you see, the scriptures hold everyone accountable, man. And the thing is, as the sons of God, man, we really had to feel the brunt, okay, of this fall, man. You know, we got demoted the most because of this fall. All right, and rightfully so, because what? As the sons of God, we had a responsibility, man. All right, said, what is that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Lord said unto the serpent, so the Eve put this through the serpent in there. She threw him under the bus. Okay, all right. So now I say the Lord, He's going to address, all right, all three. It says, and the Lord said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle. And this is the cattle represents a people. Okay, He's referring to, you know, people as beasts and cattle. And these heathens are looked at as beasts and cattle. Okay, what you call Goyim. You see, this is how the Heavenly Father would address them. Okay, so he's saying that the serpent, this man, okay, will be cursed above all other people. And you look at the punishment of Esau, Edom, you know, no one has a punishment, okay, to be completely eradicated out the earth, but Esau, Edom, he's the most cursed. He's the cursed of the heathen, you know, the leprosy, okay, the earth, he's not in sync with the earth. He's a cursed people. Okay, we're under the curses for our disobedience, but Esau himself, he's a cursed people, man. Okay, and it says, and we're gonna see how these, and that's to show, real quick. That's why there's a prophecy, all right, for the people of the Lord's curse, but then it puts a name on it, all right, so you can link up the serpent with a particular nation, man. This is Isaiah 34 and 5. It says, for my sword, which are the missiles, the nukes shall be bathed in heaven, which is the atmosphere. Okay, those ICBMs going into the atmosphere and coming back in and landing, okay, on particular places, man, mainly America. It says, behold, it shall come down upon our Dumia and upon the people of my curse to judgment. So you can link, okay, the serpent being cursed. Okay, well, what people is there speaking of? All right, Idumea. All right, so you go to Idumea. What is Idumea? Okay, Idumea. All right, in Hebrew, Adam. Okay, which is Edom, descendants of Esau. Okay, so the people of the Lord's curse are who? The descendants. All right, of Esau. Okay, so let's go back. Just want to link that up. Let's go back here as he's addressing the serpent. Okay, it says, and the Lord said unto the serpent, all right, the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, all right, and thou shalt eat, and thou shalt, it says, and the dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Okay, and this is speaking of his people being demoted in the earth on his belly, and the dust goes into confusion. Okay, and this is what we'll seeing getting ready to happen, man. These people are Esau Edom is going to be demoted from his rulership, okay, and go into confusion, man. All right, captivity. Okay, and then you go here. Let's link this up with another prophecy, man. Okay, because when you go into Babylon, where Babylon represents the motherland, okay, of witchcraft. Okay, Amalek is tapped in. Amalek is a diviner. You know, we speak about the small hats. Well, they, all right, you know, the main platform of their wickedness is here in America, and this is why America is going to get the worst. Okay, of the judgment. Okay, it says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." You see that? The same, all right, verbiage that was being said unto the serpent. Come sit on the ground. Okay, come sit in the dust. All right, because this represents the chief place of witchcraft. Oh, daughter of the Chaldeans, those astrologers, there was warlocks and witches, man. Astrologers, man. Okay, so this the spirit of the serpent, okay, which has came back through Esau Edom. All right, the motherland of it is here in America, man. You see that? So it says, "Come sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans." Okay, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate, man. All right, and through America, this man has romanticized sin. You know, he has made sin appealing, just as the serpent made sin appealing. Okay, so going back, let's go back here. Um, go back to Genesis, just to make that link. Okay. This is back in Genesis 3:16. Okay, and it says, "Now put in yep." Read 14 again. It says, "Lord power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel." So the woman represents Israel. Okay, and the lineage, all right, that will come from Israel will have enmity between the lineage of the serpent, all right, which came back as Cain, all right, and today is Idumea, Esau, Edom. Okay, and you see, and what do you see? That enmity, man, between those two people. Okay, remember this, and this is the this is the the mess that has been made. Okay, going back to the garden, man. Okay, now he's going to address the woman. Unto the woman, he said, "I will greatly multiply thy sorrow with thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee." Okay, you see, and thy desire shall be to thy husband. And see that those birth pains. Okay, this is a result of the garden, man, of the fall in the garden. Okay, listening to all right, Esau never played out, man. You know, which back then was the serpent. But listening to this man never panned out good for us, man. Okay, and it says on verse 17. Now he's going to address Adam. It says, "And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, for listening to this goddamn woman." Okay, and that's why, hey, when you go into, all right, um, what's that, Isaiah 46:8? Okay, what does the Lord tell us, man? All right, so there's a punishment for listening to the goddamn woman, man. Yeah, she was off. Okay, see, the one thing about it, you know, women don't like to have accountability, but the Lord is holding everybody accountable, man. Okay, and women hate to shoulder any type of accountability for the most part, man. Okay, and then but the accountability with us, we listen to the guy. Adam listened to the woman. Okay, as the sons of God, you're gonna see the goddamn woman letting the woman have influence. Man, it says, remember this, Isaiah 46:8. Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors, man. Okay. And see, people talk about the alpha male. Well, a true alpha is the one that can stand for righteousness, man. Okay, they can be unmovable and righteous. That's the real alpha male frame. Okay, and Adam, he got weak. All right. So going back into it, this is Genesis 3 and 16. I mean in 17. It says, unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall they bring forth in thee. Thou shalt eat the herb of the field. Yeah, see, because the earth used to just yield forth this fruit in paradise, man. Okay? You didn't have to till. You didn't have to sow, plant. You didn't have to uh pull out weeds, and because the garden work is very tedious and laborious, man. To maintain the garden, okay, fight off animals. No, the earth just was giving forth abundance, man. Before this happened, you see, but now it has to be worked. Hey, it's a tedious work now to get anything out of the land. Okay, and that's why I say in 19, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return unto the ground. Okay, working your whole life. To the sweat of thy face means, hey, you're gonna have to toil to get anything out of the earth, man. Okay, it says, till thou return unto the ground, for it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto the dust shalt thou return. Okay, so they will set the conditions of what we're going through today. Okay, and the Lord addressed all three of them, but we're gonna stay with Adam, and as you go later on in Genesis, because Adam, and Eve, they had sons and daughters, and look how long they was living. So there was a lot of, there was a lot of multiplying, man. Okay, so the sons of God multiplied in the earth, through Adam. All right, but they was in transgression. They was in decline. Okay, that's why you get to Genesis 6. By the time you get to Genesis 6, okay, and this is several generations later, man. Okay, it says, and it came to pass when man began to multiply on the face of the earth, the daughters were born of them. Then the sons of God, going back to the lineage of Adam, saw the daughters of men that they were fair. There's plenty, lessons going into this. The sons of God. GMS Sons of God. We did one recently. I think last week. Maybe 2 weeks ago. He went into this. All right. He said, did the Screek teaching a few weeks ago. Elder Kazak. He went into the I think it's the NIV. Commentary, and it goes into it. All right. It said that the sons of God. All right. Saw the daughters of men. See the woman. Okay, the goddamn woman. Okay, and see and this is why, you know, that Yahawashi, when he came back, he didn't deal. We're gonna get into it. All right, and it ain't like the women, okay, aren't a wicked thing. It just when they're in positions of influence outside of their order. Because a woman, she has influence over her house under her husband, with the children. She may have, servants, but she's supposed to be guided by the influence of her husband. Okay? So if the husband go off, all right, or if the husband, listens to a woman that's going off, then that throws everything out of order. Okay, it says that the sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and these are still speaking about the sons of God. Okay, and giant goes in, to reputation, status, rank. Okay, it says, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, okay, dealing with the women from the other nations, and they bear children of them, the same became mighty men, which were of old and of renown. There's men, all right, of a famous reputation. Okay, the sons of God, were famous in the earth. Okay, their lineage. All right. And it says, and the Most High saw that the wickedness on man was great in the earth. All right. And the sons of God being mingled, okay, with these other people and taking on their ways and customs. And that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him in his heart. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. Okay? It was a very wicked vibration in the earth, man. All right. And you had the descendants of Cain in the earth. They played a major part in the wickedness. All right. But the sons of God, they fell away. Okay? And it all goes back to the fall from the garden, man. Okay? Well, when sin was introduced to the game. Okay? And it says, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So the Lord always would reserve a remnant in the midst of the madness, man. And Noah was their remnant. Okay, that would descend from the sons of God. All right, to live after the flood. Okay? And through, okay, let's read this. Verse 9 said, these are the generations of Noah. All right, Noah, which is Noach, which goes into comfort. Noah was a just man. Okay, Noah had a good report. As Enoch had a good report. Okay, just Lot, all right, had a good report. Noah was just a man, was a just man and perfect in his generations. All right, he was complete. He had a mindset of righteousness, man, fear of the Lord. And Noah walked with the Most High, man. And this is what we're doing now in the midst of the sons of God, all right, going crazy in the earth, just getting worse and worse. The Lord reserved the remnant. He washed us with his word, man. He's allowing us to be washed with his word and walk with him, man. All right. So you go through Noah. All right. So just go through the history. You had Noah. Then you had the flood came. Noah was reserved, and through Noah, you have Shem, and through Shem, later you will get who? Abraham, Isaac, all right, and Jacob. Okay, those promises were made to Abraham, through Abraham, because Abraham, he came from a house of idolatry through his father Terah. Okay, and they was in what, Babylon, Chaldea. Okay, when Abraham was separated, all right, he was proven, through his faith, the willingness to sacrifice Isaac, and he was given a promise. Okay, and the promise went to his son Isaac, and then to Jacob. All right, and Jacob had his sons. Okay, and which will make up what, the nation of Israel, Yasharallah, princes of the power. But it's a continuation of the sons of God. Their story is a continuing story. The sons of God's story never, is cut off. It just is always a rise and a fall. Okay, so now let's get down to, all right, let's go here. So you had, us being in the land, of Egypt. We were delivered out of Egypt. Okay, the Lord utilized Moses, raised Moses as a leader. So we were delivered out of Egypt. All right. Eventually Moses died, and Joshua, became, the leader, and he led, military campaigns through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, you know, um, taking down, all right, these heathens, and establishing, we became established in the land. Okay. We had the first king, Saul, all right. When we was in our sovereignty, because Moses was the first king, all right, technically, all right. But when we was in the land, Saul, became king. He became wicked, became disobedient. Okay, then King David was established. All right, the man after the Most High's own heart. All right, to the point to where the throne that's going to be established in the kingdom is the throne of David. It represents obedience. Now David wasn't perfect. Okay, he had a fall. When he got back right, you see. But the throne represents obedience, dominion over the heathens, the will of the Lord going forth in the earth. The unity of all tribes. Okay, so let's go here. Now let's fast forward it to. I want to fast forward to Solomon. Okay, so you go to First Kings. Now, when King Solomon is, when Solomon is made king. Okay, let's read this account in 1 Kings 3:1. Okay. So this 1 Kings 3:1 says, Solomon made affinity with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and took Pharaoh's daughter and brought her into the city of David until he had made an end of building his house and the house of the Lord and the wall. It says in the wall of Jerusalem round about. Only the people sacrificed in high places, but there was no house built in the name of the Lord until these days. And Solomon loved the Lord Yahweh, walking in the statutes of David his father. So King Solomon started off meek, humble, okay, sincere in righteousness, man. Walking in the statutes of David his father. Only he sacrificed and burnt incense in high places. And the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for there was for there for that was the great place 1,000 burnt offerings that Solomon offered upon that altar in Gibeon. All right, it says in Gibeon the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and the Most High said, "Ask what I shall give thee." Okay, and Solomon said, "Thou hast showed unto thy servant David, my father, great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth and in righteousness and in uprightness in heart with thee, and thou hast kept for him this great kindness that thou hast given him a son to sit his throne as it is this day. And now, O Lord, Yahweh Shema my power, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David, my father, and I am but a little child, and I know not how to go out or come in. He didn't have experience of ruling. So, he would, of course, he would have, tutors, and, he was being groomed up in the law. Okay. But, the actual rule, that's a whole nother element to actually be in that position in real time. Okay, so he's coming into it, hey, he's kind of timid. You see, all right, which anyone would be. Okay, especially coming out the legacy of David, King David. It says, "And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered, nor counted for multitude." And remember, this is all. This is the sons of God. Okay, these Israelites that are the sand of the sea are the sons of God. So all right, so we're seeing the same format. Okay, being the same thing. Go back to Adam. Okay, he fell from a rulership. Genesis 6, the sons of God, they fell from places of renown. Okay, so now you have the sons of God in rulership again under King Solomon. Okay, so we're seeing that same scenario being set up. It says, and the speech pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this thing. And the Most High said unto them, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither has asked riches for thyself, nor has asked the life of thine enemies, but has asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee wise. I have given thee a wise and understanding heart. Hey, going back to what? That breath of life. That you see, he went into wisdom of Solomon, what all that entails. So he gave King Solomon a broad understanding of everything. Okay, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise. All right, like unto thee. So like, all right, and it's in verse 13. It says, "And I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days." Okay. And it says, "And if thou wilt walk in my ways to keep my statutes and my commandment as thy father David did, then I will lengthen thy days." So King Solomon was given, okay, that what? An abundance of understanding. Just as Adam, he had that abundance of understanding, that breath of life. So we should see the similarities, But as you go on, all right, something happened. Okay. Let's go to 1 Kings 11. All right. 1 Kings 11 and 1. All right. 1 Kings 11 and 1 says, "But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughters of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and the Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, You shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love." Okay? And this is why, the Lord, all right, will warn us about, because see, the sin ain't dealing with other women, is dealing with their gods. All right. And the Lord will give warning because he knew, all right, that Jake is weak to that goddamn woman, man. Okay. Jake is weak to the woman. All right. And that's something you got to recognize, man. You know, as a man, you got to recognize those things. Then you learn the deal. Okay. But so he's going into it. It says, "Ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come into you, for surely they will turn away your hearts after their gods." Solomon clave unto these in love. And see, you're not supposed to, like the marriage that we have with an Israelite woman, okay, is different than the marriages we will have with heathen. They will be, concubines, all right? And the concubine is really like a lesser wife. Okay, she wouldn't have, you know, um inheritance rights. Okay, her family, it wasn't a joining of houses. Okay, you would just acquire her, in servitude, to your liking. Okay, but when Jake started to, put these women, you know, on the level of a wife, and start mingling with their customs. Okay, very much you join houses, you join to their customs. Okay, that's where the sons of God went off. All right, and it says, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. All right, and for it came to, which is in mind. All right, what did Eve do? She brought that way to Solomon, to Adam. Okay, Adam started to partake. His heart was turned from the Most High. King Solomon was seeing his heart being turned from the Most High, man, through that woman. Okay, for it came to pass when Solomon was old that his wives turned away his heart after their gods, and his heart was not perfect with the Lord his power, as was the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. All right. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord and went not fully after the also like yep. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord and went not fully after the Lord as did David his father. Then did Solomon build in high place for Camash, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, which burnt incense and sanctified, sacrifice, all right, unto their gods. And the Lord was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Lord power of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice, and had commanded him concerning these things that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which the Lord commanded. Okay, so now we see, a more vivid picture of how things could have played out in the garden. You know, we see a more vivid picture. One thing when you go into the scriptures, the further you go into the book, the more descriptive it gets. Okay, when you go into Genesis, it's a lot of similitudes. Okay, it's a lot of dark sayings. It's a lot of parables. You really gotta, if you read the surface level, you'll be all over the place. You see, but as you go deeper into the Bible, farther into the narrative, it gets more descriptive. Something I've noticed. All right, verse 11 says, "Wherefore, the Lord said unto Solomon, for much as this is done, all right, and thou hast not kept my covenant, my statutes, which I commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee and will give it to thy servant. Notwithstanding, in thy days I will not do it for David thy father's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son. Howbeit, I will not rend away all the kingdom, but I will give one tribe to thy son for David, my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen." So, just as he pronounced a punishment on Adam, okay, how he will have to work the land, okay, by the sweat of his brow shall he eat, okay. Now he's pronouncing a judgment on Solomon. Well, look, I'm gonna rend the kingdom from you, man. I'm gonna separate the tribes. Okay, this is where you get the separation of northern and southern kingdom. Okay, because what of this fall? All right, and the southern kingdom was preserved under the throne of David. And eventually it will be all right. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay, that will make up the southern kingdom. So you go into the next chapter when, all right, Rehoboam, okay, gets the all right, he succeeds King Solomon. Okay, now you're gonna have the rent. Okay, because remember, King Solomon is allowed to get old and die. Okay, And that's going to play a factor in YAHAWASHI. Okay. And it says, and Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel will come to Shechem to make him king. And it came to pass when Jeroboam the son of Nebat was yet in Egypt, heard, for he was fled from the presence of King Solomon. And this is and Jeroboam dwelt in Egypt. It says that they sent and called him, and Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, all right, thy father made our yokes grievous. Now therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father his heavy yoke. All right. Remember in this latter years, King Solomon, he had demons on him, man. Okay. He was a great king. All right. The majority of his rulership. Okay. And then toward the end, the mother gods had demons on them, man. Okay. He said, now therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father and his heavy yoke, which he put upon us, lighter, and we will serve thee. And he said unto them, depart ye for 3 days, then come again. And the people departed. So you have, you know, the tribes outside of Judah, pretty much the northern tribes coming to him like, look, man, you gotta kind of lit up, man. You following kind of hard toward the end there, man. And how you know it's a change because you had one showing you that it wasn't always like that under King Solomon. When you go to here, it's a change, man. And you gotta, just extrapolate that. Just extrapolate that, that change came when he was under the vibration of the other guys, man. This is First Kings 4:20 said, Judah and Israel were many as the sand of the sea, which is by the sea, in multitude, eating and drinking and making merry. Okay, so this was during the majority of Solomon's rulership, man. Okay, and you keep verse 25, and Judah and Israel do it safely, every man under his vine and under his fig tree, which every man had their own substance. Okay, from Dan even to Beersheba, all the days of Solomon. Okay, so King Solomon had Israel, and it was a paradise, man. Pretty much it was a paradise, man. It just didn't end. Okay, it ended, in the fall. So let's go back here to First Kings 12. All right, First Kings 12, and so they came, pretty much asked, for mercy. He told them go off 3 days. You'll have counsel. All right, and we're gonna go into the counsel. It says, verse 6. It says, and King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, and said, how do you advise that I may answer this people? And they spake unto him, saying, if thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day, showing your rulership is about serving, not just about benefiting off the people that you're over. It says, and will serve them and answer them and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servants forever. But he forsook the counsel of the old men which they gave him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him, and which stood before him. So he forsook the old, all right, the elders, and listened to some niggas that grew up with him, man. Okay. And then he said unto them, what counsel give ye that ye may answer this people who have spoken to me, saying, make the yoke which thy father did put upon us lighter? And the young man that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, thus shalt thou speak unto this people that spake unto thee, saying, thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it lighter unto us. Thus shalt thou say unto them, my little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. Okay, my little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. Mean I'm gonna go hard on you, man. because Solomon had all them women. Okay, so you like, look, how my father went on the women. I'm gonna go. My little finger gonna be harder than that. And it says, and now whereas my father did lay you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. My father has chastened you with whips, but I will chasten you with scorpions. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the third day, as the king had appointed, saying, come to me again the third day. And the king answered the people roughly and forsook the old man counsel that they gave him. So he handled these people rough. He went hard when they came back. All right, spazzing out, tripping. It says, and spake to them after the. But remember, this is all a punishment for what King Solomon did. Okay, which is a ripple effect of what Adam did. And spake to them after the counsel of the young men, saying, my father made your yoke heavy, and I will add to your yoke. My father also chastened you with whips, but I will chasten you with scorpions. Wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause, all right, for the cause was from the Lord, okay, that he might perform his saying which the Lord spake by uh, Ahijah the Shilonite unto Jeroboam the son of Nebat, which he prophesied to Jeroboam, all right, which became the first king of the northern tribes, that he would give him, a kingdom. He was going to rent the kingdom, okay, which to separate the kingdom from Solomon, and he was going to rule over a portion of the tribes. Okay, so when all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto them, the people answered the king, saying, what portion have we in David? Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Israel, now see to thine own house, David. So Israel departed unto their tents. But as for the children of Israel which dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam, all right, reigned over them. Okay, the king, all right, Rehoboam sent Ardaram, who was over the tribute, and all Israel stoned him with stones that he died. Therefore, King Rehoboam made speed to get him up to his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. So, Rehoboam, here it is. This man that talk crazy. All right, this man that talk real greasy to these people. And then he's going to send, all right, this guy to go get tribute, which that was a death trap. It was a death mission, man. All right, and they stoned that man. All right, they stoned Jake and he died. So Israel rebelled against the house of David until this day. All right, and that started to split, and you can read, the rest of that. All right, this one go to the account that the split that happened after King Solomon. Now, eventually, you had to split the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, but what happened? And remember, this is all one. This is all based on the fall of the sons of God. This is the ripple effect of our fall, man. Okay, now this 2 Kings 17:1, it says, in the 12th year of Ahaz, king, began Hoshea, the son of Eli, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years. Okay, the southern kingdom dwelt in Samaria. All right, which is near to northern Israel. Okay, and it says, and he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel. All right, that was before him. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. So now you see that the sons of God are not the dominant nation in the earth anymore. When we fall away from our power, okay, we become servants. When we cleave to our power, we dominate. Okay, it's a simple concept, but this flesh has made it very complex, man. All right, and it says, and the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, because you remember during the time of King Solomon, said how all the people flowed to him and gave him what? Gifts. They was giving him gifts, man. All right, it says, and the king of Syria found conspiracy in Hoshea, Salaki, for he had sent messengers to to So, king of Egypt, and brought no presents to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. Then the king of Assyria came up through all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria and placed them in Halah and Habar by the river of Gaza and in the cities of the Medes. Okay, so eventually the northern kingdom, okay, will continue to go off into idolatry until eventually the Lord, all right, took them into captivity. Okay, and they never came back. Okay. When you keep reading, it said, "For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord and power, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared, all right, other gods, and walked in the statues of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel, which they had made. And the children of Israel did." It says, "And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Lord their power, and they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city." Okay, so Jake was going off, the sons of God was going off, and it led to captivity. Okay, fast forward. Let's get Jeremiah. So the northern kingdom went into captivity, but you had the southern kingdom still intact. Okay, we're just walking down this history, man. Like we love to go into history, but what better history to know than our history, man? Okay, so this is Jeremiah 3:6. It says, "The Lord said unto me in the days of Josiah the king, hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel have done?" Okay, let me open this up. And speaking of the northern kingdom, okay. Open this book up because I want to make a reference to some dates. I pray that this making sense. All right, let me know if it's all lining up. Let me know if we still on the same page. As we walk down this narrative, like I said, it's gonna be lengthy, but it's I want to be concise. Make sure we're not. So just let me know if we good. So yeah, let's go back here. So now the the northern kingdom, all right, the northern tribes are in captivity to the Syrians. Okay, so Jeremiah now, the Lord has Jeremiah getting at the southern kingdom. Okay, because the southern kingdom, they're committing wickedness and going off, all right, which is going to get them put into captivity. Okay, so you keep reading. It says Jeremiah 3:6, "The Lord said also unto me in the days of Josiah the king, hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel have done? She is going up on every high mountain and under every green tree, and there have played the harlot," okay, which is a spiritual fornication, man, serving other idols, and these idolatry come with these adverse lifestyles, man, these alternate lifestyles, man. Okay, so he's addressing Jeremiah is checking the southern kingdom, like, look, y'all seen what happened to the northern kingdom. You seen what they've done. Okay, you seen where their idolatry led them to. Okay, it says, and I said after she done all these things, turn unto me, but she returned not, and her treacherous sister Judah saw it. Okay, and it says, and I saw when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away. Yeah, The Lord put the northern kingdom away by allowing her to go into captivity, allowing them to go into captivity, removing them from their land. All right, because you get that bill of divorce, you gotta come out that house, man. It's not like this backward society when divorce, the man has to leave the house. The woman gets there. No, man, you got a divorce, and under our law, a woman getting divorced, hey, she would get walking papers, man. She would have to leave. Okay, and she would have to lead their protection. She would have to lead their provision, their guidance. Okay, and that's what happened to us, man. All right. Remember Adam? Hey, they had to get up out that garden. They fell from what? That wisdom, that tree of life, which was the tree of immortality, man. They fell from that. They got put out the house. It says, in giving her a bill of divorce, yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also, man. So the southern kingdom, they got on the same tip, because the southern kingdom, they did have some righteous kings. The northern kingdom, they didn't have any, but the southern kingdom, they did have some spurts of righteousness, man. Dealing with Hezekiah, I believe Jehoshaphat, all right, Josiah, okay, just to name a few. But the majority of them, they was wicked, all right. But you did have spurts of righteousness, man. But now it's just going all bad, okay. Keep going. It says, and yet for all this, her treacherous sister Judah have not turned unto me with her whole heart, but faintly, all right, said the Lord, which is not in sincerity. Jake was going, and Jake was, keeping the law, man. It wasn't in sincerity. Jake going through the motions, man, for a show. Okay, that's why the Lord eventually even stopped taking Jake sacrifices, man. Okay, so what would be the result of the southern kingdom keep going off? And you go to Daniel, the first chapter. All right, in Daniel 1:1, it says, in the third year of the reign of Joachim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem and besieged it. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand, with part of the vessels of the house of the Most High, which he carried into the land of Shinar to the house of his God. And he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his God. Okay, and the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seeds, and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored and skillful in all wisdom and cunning and knowledge and understanding science, such as had the ability in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning to the tongue of the Chaldeans. Okay, so what did it lead to? Another captivity. Okay, it led into a captivity. Now, when you go into the captivities, the northern kingdom went into captivity in 722 BC. Okay, the southern kingdom, you had in 605 BC. That's when Daniel and these choice men were taken captive. Okay, certain choice men, and that there was still a remnant left. And then in 593, that's when you had another exile, and that's when Ezekiel was taken captive in 593 BC. Okay, so you had roughly, let's see, what that is, 622, 117. So it was like 117 years between the captivity of the northern kingdom, okay, and the captivities of the southern kingdom. Okay, but eventually it led to both all tribes being in captivity. Okay, and then you will have what? The Persians and the Medes. Okay, the Persians and the Medes, they would take down Babylon. All right, and we were subjugated under them. But under the Persians, we was allowed to build the temple, because what was this setting up for? This was setting up for YAHAWASHI. Okay, like Cyrus, people try to make it seem as if Cyrus, like he, was special to the Lord, man. He was just used. He was anointed, to allow this temple to be built because Yahawashi was getting ready to come back, some generations on down. So he allowed the temple to be built. Okay. Then you had, our people return back to Jerusalem. The priesthood will be set up. Okay. Establishing what? Some order. Because Yahawashi, he had to have some order to be born into in order for him to be perfect in the law. Okay. So you had the Greeks coming to power, and then you had, the Maccabean revolt under the Greeks. Our people was Hellenized under the Greeks, a lot of them, but you had a revolt as well. Okay, to stay faithful to the way under the Maccabees, and then under the Maccabees, you had the Hasmonean dynasty in which we had, um, some type of sovereignty, you know, um, and then you had eventually the Romans will come in, okay, and absorb Judea, okay, into a province, okay, but they still allowed, Jake to keep their customs, they were just under tribute to the Romans. Okay, and then then what did you have? Yahawashi. And when Yahawashi came, he understood he had to clean this up, man. Okay, he had to clean this up. Okay, so pretty much the Lord put Yahawashi in the midst of us falling. You're like pretty much the Most High told you, look, I'm gonna put you in this mess, man. See this bullshit that came from the garden, I'm gonna put you in this mess, man. So when he came as Yahawashi under the Romans, he was dealing with things that transpired in the garden. He was living in the results of that, man. Okay? So when he came, that's why he was so tapped in. Okay? He knew he had to get it right. He knew, all right, that it was obedience this time, man. This time it was about his obedience, man. Okay? It wasn't he didn't come back in rulership. He came back, okay, to showcase obedience. All right. So when you go to, in which when we get get it in a minute. Pull this up. Yep. So let's go here to Matthew 1:21. All right. And Yahawashi was born, okay, on a mission, man. He had to play cleanup. It said this is Matthew 1:21. It says, she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahawashi, for he shall save his people from their sins. Okay. So Yahawashi, his whole purpose was to come down and to make things right, man. Okay, to establish a way back to righteousness because the way of death had been established. Okay, through the fall. So Yahawashi came back to establish life, man, through obedience. Okay, so when you go here, when he became of age, because you become a man, all right, at 12, okay, and not customs, all right. Well, when you go here, all right, Luke 2:41 says, now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom, all right, of the feast. And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, the child tarried behind in Jerusalem, all right, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it. Okay. It says, but they suppose in verse 44, but they suppose in him to have been in company when a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinfolk and acquaintance. And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem seeking him. And it came to pass that after days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. And all that heard him were astonished at his answers, all right, his understanding and his answers. And all, yeah, it says, and when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou dealt with us? Behold, our father and I have sought thee sorrowing. And he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? Wish ye know not that I must be about my father's business? Okay, Yahawashi came back on business. You see, he understood the fall. Okay, he understood the origin of that fall, man. So he came back and he came to stand on business and righteousness, man. Okay, that's why Yahawashi, he felt a certain type of way. That's why he goes in certain accounts, and that's why he was always, drilling the apostles about rulership, man, about how to be as a ruler. Okay, and that's why he was always putting pressure on the wicked leadership, man. Okay, but when you go here, you know, and that's why Yahawashi, he understood mercy, man. He understood his part in the whole thing. And just like us, as like I've been saying lately, the spirit been having me saying, man, like we get on, like we're gonna address, and we're not gonna stop addressing, all right, wickedness and correction and putting out correction in the gate, man. Okay, but also we not high minded because we understand our part in this as well. Okay, a lot of things that we complain about, the Lord got us in the midst of our mess as well, man. You see, we participated in the BS before we was awakened, man. Okay, so we understand like some of the things like the Lord got us marinating in our mess as well, man. Okay, speaking to the brothers, man. You see, and it says, this is Matthew 9:35. It says, and Yahawashi went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom. And see, Yahawashi was speaking about getting back to that glory. Like he understand from what he fell from. He understood what we as a people fell from. That's why he always talked about the kingdom getting back to that glory. But this time it's going to be right. It's going to stay right. It says, in healing every sickness and every disease among the people. All right. And we're doing that now in the spirit, healing our people from the disease. Westernization is a disease. Christianity is a disease. Islam, Pan-Africanism, niggerism, street code, all this is a disease that the elect are being healed from. Feminists, their feminism. Okay. It says, but when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. Okay, so he had compassion, and like I say, he understood, like, I had a part in this, man. Like, damn. Verse 97, then said he unto his disciples, because he see our people didn't have no leadership, man. Okay, and it wasn't like Yahawashi, like he as Adam, you had to think he was a good ruler. It doesn't go into detail. Okay, and King Solomon, he was a good ruler. He was a great ruler. He tripped. You see, he tripped. You see. So he's looking and he knows that, man, at least they have no leaders, man. He's looking at Jake and seeing how they move, and he's like, damn, they ain't got no leaders. So this is why he was so hard on the disciples, man. He needed them to be leaders, man, when he was gone. Okay. Then said he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers, more leaders, people that's going to work, going to toil, Okay, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest, man. And the harvest represents Israel, man, the elect. Okay, the laborers, the prophets, the men that are being groomed for leadership. Okay. Um uh so let's go from there. Listen, because you go into prophecy. Let's see. Yep, so let's get a few more. Get ready to wrap up. All right, but even when you go into prophecy, let's get this. And second, let's get this second Esdras. All right, so you get second Esdras 7:1. Is addressing these things. All right, this is second Esdras 7:1. And if a brother could, I don't know if a brother's still on. If a brother can get that Matthew 7, chapter 7, verses 12 and 13 and 14, Bible shot. Matthew 7, verses 12, 13, and 14. All right, so let's get second Esdras 1:71. It says, when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent unto me the angel which had been sent unto me the night before. And he said unto me, up Esdras, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, speak on, my power. Then said he unto me, the sea is set in a is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. Okay, but put the entrance were narrow and like a river. Who then could go? And the river, represents resistance. Narrow, represents, a difficulty, man. Is strict. Okay, and it says, who then could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it? All right, rulership. You see, if he had not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? So the fall was necessary to create these resistance, to create this resistance that we will have to go through to get to the kingdom, to rule it. Because see, the Lord is building character, man. So all these things were necessary. Okay? All these things were necessary, man. All right? Hey, this is a story, man. Okay? It says, there is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field and full of good things, man. Speaking of the kingdom. Okay? The entry thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and water, so small that there could be but one man go there, all right, at once. Each brother gotta fight their own battle. We all gotta fight our own battle to get back to that glory, man. It's a collective effort, okay? Whether each individual has their responsibility in this collective effort, man. Okay, to overcome. And the thing is to overcome the flesh. Okay, nobody can overcome the flesh for you, man. You can teach you breakdown, teach you character building, but no one can. All right, because it's a going to the flesh. Like it's our individual responsibility to control this flesh, man. To dominate this flesh, and not be dominated by the flesh. Adam was dominated by the flesh. King Solomon got dominated by the flesh. YAHAWASHI, he dominated the flesh, man. Okay? And that's the thing. Now, he was perfect in the law. We're not going to be perfect in the law, but we can dominate the flesh like he did. Okay? We don't have to fall weak to the flesh. We have, our moments when we fall, but it shouldn't be dominating us, man. To where flesh is governing us, man. No, man. We're governing the flesh. We got the flesh in check, man. Okay? And that's the way back to glory through faith in Yahawashi, man. You see? It says, if this and that's why Yahawashi, he spoke of that, the water, bro. This is the brother Yaqub, the hopeful elect 3, Matthew 7-12. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that man should do to you, do ye even to them, for this is the law of the prophets. Okay, going to that golden rule. Okay, and then also going into, because you can hang the law on that alone. Treat a man like you would want to be treated. Okay, they will cut out adultery, false witness, stealing. Okay, teaching false doctrine. Would you once want to teach you false doctrine to get you destroyed? Okay, you see. So reading on, it says Matthew 6 and hey, yeah, get that nigga out of here, man. This is Matthew 6:13. It says, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many that be, all right, which go in therein. Okay, and that broad gate is a way of no resistance, because it's easy to be in the flesh. That's the easiest thing to do, and that's why people love it so much, because the flesh, all right, is the flesh, okay, is there's no resistance in it. Okay, in the flesh, it's easy to be in the flesh. Okay, it's easy to make up your own righteousness as you go than to live by a standard. That's an easy thing to do, man. No responsibility. Okay, no accountability when you in the flesh. Okay, and a lot of our people, they love that way. Well, it's a way that's leading to destruction, and it has a lot of them they're already self-destructive, man. Okay, when the flesh is not checked. See, pleasure is not wickedness, but it's just an order to it. There's a way to it. Okay, Matthew 7:14 says, because straight is the gate. All right, hey, the discipline, man, and narrow is the way which leads unto life, and few there be that find it. Okay, and the elect are on that straight way. We're following the way Yahawashi laid down, man. He overcame the flesh. You see, he overcame death. So keep reading. It says, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance, man? So this is our rite of passage, man, to overcome this flesh. Okay, be committed to obedience, man, in this sinful flesh. All right, that's the test, that's the trial, and we have to overcome it to be built. All right, for rulership, man. And I said it is because the Lord is setting us up to we're not gonna fall this time, man. He's building us a certain way where we're not gonna fall, and we're gonna be completed at the return of Yahawashi. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he, even unto me, even so, all right, is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world, and when Adam transgressed my statute, then was decreed that now is done. So how it goes all the way back to Adam. You see? So the condition that we're under, it goes back to the fall of Adam. Okay, the circumstances that we're in, but the hope, all right, and the promise that we have is through Yahawashi. Yahawashi, he created a way out of this, man. Adam got us into this. Yahawashi, all right, created a way out. Okay, it says, then were the interests of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful for the entrance of the elder world, the former world, okay, were wide and sure and bought immortal fruit, going back to the time of Adam. You know, we had that way. Adam had the way of immortality, man. We fell from that. Okay. And it says, if then they that live labor not to enter these great and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them, man. So this is necessary, man. Okay. This is necessary. We had to go through these things, man. We had to fall. All right. We had to fall because failure builds character, man. You know, failure builds character when you overcome the failure, man. All right. And YAHAWASHI was a roadmap to overcoming. Okay. As the brother got this is brother Yaquab, the hopeful elect 3, John 16 and 33. These things have I spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. In the world you shall have tribulation. Okay. We still got to endure those things. Okay. Because of our disobedience. So we have to endure particular things, man. In the world you shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. YAHAWASHI overcome this age. He overcame because he just like he was YAHAWASHI was born into a captivity under the Romans. We was born into a captivity under the Romans, man. Eating Rome. So YAHAWASHI overcame, all right, the circumstances that we're under now. Okay, he gave us the map of how to be, of how to move, as we always go into. You know, he wasn't there to be famous and popular and cute. Okay, he didn't indulge in the flesh. Okay, he was temperate. He understood mercy. Okay, he understood humility. He understood, being a leader is about servitude. He understood them things, man. You know, and he left a blueprint for us to move, so we can overcome. We get that in Hebrews 12 and 2. We know we gotta get it. All right, Hebrews 12 and 2. Looking unto YAHAWASHI, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High. And then author goes into a pioneer. Okay, you see, you gotta get it. And part of that glory that was before him, was he was establishing us. Okay, he was creating a path, for the sons of God to get back to glory. Okay, which ultimately was going to bring back the glory of the nation. Okay, he understood like what he's going to do. He's going to set the standard of immortality. He's going to get us back to the immortality, to life. Okay, he's going to put everybody on. So he didn't care about the shame of the cross, man. Okay, we go to the word in the Greek.
Strong's G 747. Archegas.
Okay, gosh. All right, says one that takes the lead in anything and thus affords an example. Okay, Adam was an example of failure, man. King Solomon, in the end of his reign, he left an example of failure. That's why he had a lot of other kings after him go off. Okay, it says a predecessor in a matter, a pioneer. Well, YAHAWASHI was in that example of victory, overcoming, even being faithful unto death. Okay, so he was that author we was to look to get back to glory. Okay, what's that? My brother can post that, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6. Okay, verses 21. Verses 20, 21, and 24. Bible shot. Okay, well, let's go here. What this Apostle Paul was going into those things. 1 Corinthians 15. Okay, well, before I get that, let's get this in Romans. Yeah, we get that 2 Corinthians 15. The book of Romans 5. Romans 5 and let's see. Romans 5 and 18. All right, this book of Romans chapter 5, verse 18. It says, therefore, as by the offense of one, okay, which is Adam, judgment came upon all men to condemnation. Even so, by the righteousness of one, the free gift came upon all men unto justification of life, which is YAHAWASHI. For as by one man disobedience, all right, for by one man's disobedience many were made sinners, so by the obedience of one shall many be made righteous. Okay? So YAHAWASHI was the example of obedience in captivity, in the flesh. Okay? Yeah, that obedience is leading to immortality, man. The Lord going back to the beginning and opening up that tree of life, that immortality, man. Okay? And that's what the devil was envious of, man, as the brother put up earlier, man. We've been going into it. Okay? And that's what these devils envious of now, man, as we speak about the promise of immortality, but it's in righteousness, man. Okay? So let's get that in 1 Corinthians, like 1 Corinthians 15. All right, 1 Corinthians 15, and we'll start at 20. All right. See, the brother got that. Yep. Yeah, the water, brother. And this is Wisdom of Solomon. You see, this is a King Solomon, man. All right. He said, therefore, the desire of wisdom bring him to a kingdom. And he used that example of desiring wisdom. He prayed for it. All right. He prayed for it to rule his people. Okay. So now we have a desire for wisdom, and it's leading us back to rulership. Okay. It says, Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 21. It says, if your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. Okay, honor wisdom that you may reign forevermore. Immortality, man. Okay, and this is why now the Lord put us in a situation where we really appreciate righteousness, man. We appreciate wisdom. We appreciate order. Which is going to make us honor it, man. Verse 24 said, but the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world. And the wise king is the upholding of the people, man. And that's the lesson that we're learning. Okay, and this is what the Lord is going to reestablish under YAHAWASHI, man. And it's going to be eternal. But we had to learn that lesson in these captivities, man. All right, this is 1 Corinthians 15 and 20 said, but now is YAHAWASHI risen from the dead and become the first fruits of them that sleep. He's that slept. He's the first one that's been perfected. Okay, for since by man came death, by man also the resurrection, all right, of the dead. For as in Adam all die, even so in YAHAWASHI shall all be made alive. Okay, so as Adam started the trend of death, YAHAWASHI started the trend of immortality, man. Okay, and he was teaching us about righteous rulership, man, about being a wise ruler. Okay, it says, but every man in his own order. YAHAWASHI, all right, the first fruits, 144,000. Okay, the sons of God, and that's why we get it the worst, man, because we had the most responsibility, man. Of course, hey, we're going to get the most perks, but responsibility comes first. Then you enjoy the perks on the back end, man. Okay, See, the flesh keeps you unbalanced. See, the flesh, which is our lower nature, it has to be governed by the spirit. You see, when the flesh is not governed by the spirit, you get the shit show of a society that we see today. Okay? It says, Yahawashi, the first fruits afterward, they that are Yahawashi's at his coming. Okay? The rest of the 1/3. Then come at the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to the Most High, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. See, this time the Lord is coming to remove, okay, the serpent from rulership, and then eventually he's going to remove him from the garden. Okay? You see, this is the clash that Yahawashi is finna have with Esau Edom. This is an old rivalry, man. It goes back to the garden. All right. Revelation 12:7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. All right. And the dragon is this Roman Empire, this modern Roman Empire, man. Okay. NATO, America, and the EU. Okay. You see that? And these angels just represents the armies of this devil, man. It's going to clash with the armies of Yahawashi. All right. And Michael, he's just a high-ranking angel in Yahawashi's army, man. Okay. But this is the Yahawashi coming. All right. It says, and prevail not. These devils are going to lose. And this is what they're trying to upset. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven, which is in rulership. Okay. And that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. So this beast system is ran in the spirit of that old serpent, witchcraft. Okay. Subtlety. Okay. The MOTB, if you take that, they're saying that you side with the serpent, that you would rather have the serpent ruling over you, man. That's why you're going to be treated as opposition at the return of Yahawashi. Okay? You see how the old serpent, it goes back to the beginning. You see? That old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels cast out with him, man, which he was demoted, man. He's going to be destroyed. Militaries, the Yahawashi is coming to subdue the serpent, man. All right, and eventually eliminate the serpent, man. Okay, and see, Yahawashi has conquered death, man. All right, he can't be deceived anymore, and that's why he's coming back to wage war and righteousness, man. Okay, so you go back to 1 Corinthians 15. You see, and he's coming to save the woman from the serpent. All right. See, Adam, he should have delivered Eve from the serpent, but he had to play out. It wasn't meant to play out like that. All right. But this time, Yahawashi is coming to you see a woman, you see a man, hollering at you, one whispering in your woman's ear. Okay. You see, that's how Yahawashi coming back in that type of energy, man. Okay, and that's why the elect are like the virgins that are crying out, And it says, verse 25, for he must reign, or read 24 again. It said, then come at the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to the Most High, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power, for he must reign till he have put all enemies under his foot. All these heathen. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death, man. Okay, and we're going to be changed. All right, and the man Esau Edom, okay, the doctrine of death himself, he's going to be subdued. Okay, and eventually done away with. For he have put all things under his foot. But when he say of all things under him, it is manifest he is accepted. All right. Which did put all things under him, which it means putting everything under Yahawashi himself. the Most High. Okay, Yahawashi is going to be placed over everything except the Most High. Going back to the garden, when he was made to be a keeper of the garden, to guard, to watch, to observe. He was given authority. All right, Adam was given the authority in the garden. Well, Yahawashi is getting that authority, man. Okay. Matter of fact, let me read this in the NLT real quick. These last two. All right. So this back in 1 Corinthians 15 and 27 said, for the scriptures say, the Most High has put all things under his authority. Of course, when it says all things are under his authority, that does not include the Most High himself, who gave, all right, Hamashiach his authority, Yahawashi, as he gave Adam that breath, all right, made him a keeper of the garden. Well, he's going to make Yahawashi keeper of the earth, man, to guard, all right, to watch over the earth. Okay, then when all things are under his authority, the Son will put himself under the Most High's authority, so that the Most High, who gave his Son authority over all things, will be utterly supreme over everything, everywhere. The rise and the fall, man, and the rising again of the sons of God, man. This is the movie, all right, that we're in. Okay, so Yahawashi ruling is going to be as if the Most High, is ruling himself. Okay, that's what it's going to be likening to, and us being an extension of Yahawashi. Okay, as the sons of God in the earth, man, it's just going to be as the Most High. Hey, the Most High is going to have his providence in the earth, man. Okay, of righteousness. You see, so that's the point. Lord Wood, it was edifying. I knew it was going to be long, but just had to go through that whole thing, man. It all ties together, water, for you brothers, you sisters tuning in, riding it out, but till next time I say shalom, Kwam Yashala, a Bible ball soon, Kwam Yashala, man.